From being a creep on camera,
This is not gay, it's podcasting, it's for entertainment.
to manipulating young children and being sent to prison as a result,
So this is like the first basic twerk move. You do it faster. So it's like that.
here are 5 evil creators who got exposed as creeps and predators. Starting with one of the most famous current comedians, Bobby Lee, whose appearance on Impulsive would create one of the biggest YouTube dramas in 2023 and expose him for who he really is.
It is Bobby Lee!
And while at the start he was doing his usual comedian stuff,
What's up, bro? I like you. What's up?
it quickly escalated into his first sexual joke directed at George Janko.
I love what you do, and I love all people, dude. Yeah, you got a fucking thick one down there, like a Cambodian jungle.
And then, not even 11 minutes later,
You wanna smell my
One of us in this room will.
yeah, smell my because I have no cologne here, but I spray the on my just through the underwear.
Question.
It would be him. It would be George.
Yeah, George.
It would.
Yeah.
clearly seeing that George was uncomfortable, Bobby proceeds to push him even further and does what can only be described as sexual harassment.
Know this part. And in improv, you never disagree. You always agree. Because yes and you ruin the fucking moment if you don't do it. So you're gonna fucking smell my dick, and it's not gay.
It's material, George.
Yeah.
This then continued for another hour until George finally decided he'd had enough.
Now we're doing real.
Yes.
Let's go back to the real, okay? There are certain.
He is clocked out.
Yeah,
he's-
I know.
George has been under a tremendous
Let me.
amount of abuse.
No,
No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go.
George would go on to address the drama only a year later in his podcast with Mike Milak.
I never had a problem with Bobby Lee.
No, he knows
I
that.
had a problem with the way that Logan and you were kind of gassing him to keep doing. He started the episode putting his in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds he kept grabbing my dick.
Right.
Talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living
Well, I
brakes
didn't-
off of
well,
this guy.
so I-
because Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore.
This put the limelight on Bobby Lee's actions as people took a second look at him and saw him for who he was, a creep who made everyone around him uncomfortable.
It's been less than 5
Just give me a kiss real quick. Just give me a kiss real quick.
Many think this will be the final nail in Bobby Lee's career, as allegations are taken very seriously by the online community. Take, for example, Wilbur Soot, who fell from his throne of music fame and YouTube success on February 21st, 2024, when streamer Shelby Shubble would go live to make serious accusations against, back then, an unknown man.
The truth is, it was dangerous. There were a lot of things wrong in this relationship that I endured some pretty terrible treatment.
Shelby would detail her relationship with the mystery man, which took a dark turn as it grew.
When I hear about physical abuse, I think of hitting. I think of hitting and punching.
But she learned that that isn't just it, and that abuse can come in different
He
forms.
had this habit of biting, which is so weird to me now, but he said that he had this habit since he was a kid, and even his mom said that that was true. And he said it was just affectionate.
After digging into Shelby's history, the audience deciphered the anonymous man as Wilbur. Just a week later, Wilbur would post a tweet confirming that he was indeed the person Shelby was referring to in her stream. In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I wanted to emphasize that, although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. Further, Wilbur admits to the slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish actions, mentions going to therapy, and growing as a person, followed by addressing his behavior. The allegation of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Throughout our relationship, I understood our numerous conversations and text messages exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. Following Shelby's allegations, another one of Wilbur's previous girlfriends would speak up against him, revealing even more disturbing details. I dated Wilbur back in 2019, and I want to speak out about my experience. At the beginning of the relationship, I was immediately shown a lot of affection, very reminiscent of love bombing. After a month, the honeymoon period was over, and it was like I was dating a completely different person. Alice then goes on to confirm the biting habit, mentions that they split later that same year, but when she tried to get closure 2 years later, things got even worse. We went to a bar to talk, and then he proceeded to get me very drunk. He got us an Uber back to his house. I ended up blacking out, but the last thing I remember was him non-consensually removing my clothes. The next morning, he proceeded to tell me that I must be a lesbian because I wasn't interested in him. With over 120,000 likes, Wilbur realized his acts were unjustified and has since disappeared from the internet to minimize the damage to his life. However, while Wilbur did horrible things to the adult women in his life, the same can't be said about James Charles, who seemed to prefer teenagers. Despite amassing over 20 million subscribers with his makeup videos, James's reputation would be put to the test when, in 2021, a TikToker came out with strong accusations against James.
So trigger warning, I will be talking about Gr and James Charles, and I'll post some of the stuff that he sent me now. He proceeded to send me explicit pictures of his body. I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16. Meanwhile, he's 21. He's a grown man. And then he proceeds to say, oh, but I didn't even get to see the, meaning my body.
Seeing this, James quickly took to Twitter, with his biggest argument being, I asked how old he was right away and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continuing talking, saying it would be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and would never tell anyone. At first, it was unclear who was telling the truth, as the pictures the TikToker was shown could have been from when James thought he was 18. This would be until a bunch of other creators came out with similar allegations, forcing James to address everything head on.
First and foremost, I need to say sorry. I owe a massive apology to anybody that I've hurt or anybody that I've made uncomfortable with my actions. I'm really sorry if I ever made you uncomfortable. It is completely unacceptable.
A lot of viewers were quick to notice an insincere tone as James spoke out. The fact that he later deleted the video only added to the distaste. The consequences of his actions came back to bite him. James's channel was demonetized, he was dropped as the host of a big reality show, all on top of losing makeup deals worth millions. Despite this, he still continues to post videos on his channel in a desperate attempt to revive his dead career. Something that almost couldn't be said about Minilad, who didn't only send explicit pictures to minors, but also actively pursued them in real life. On August 16th, 2020, a woman named Haley would upload a video titled, "Minilad is a liar."
I was manipulated and completely used by Minilad, aka Craig. It's scary knowing somebody like him has a platform, and a very successful platform.
The video was a follow-up to her tweet, which she posted a month prior, where she broke down what being with Craig was like. He would go to me to see if there were ways to get back to his ex or help her change and whatnot. I listened to everything he had to say and even said, sure, there is hope in changing her. Reason being was, I had a crush on him. He knew that, but then, don't remember why, but we were joking around where I said something about his being small. He sent me pictures of him in his underwear to show off his bulge, which I did not ask for at all. Remember, I was a minor. I was 16. The worst part is, I was not the only person he has done this to. He asked if I would be able to come over to his house and have I told him it would probably be a long shot because I was still 17 and my parents probably wouldn't let me out alone. Although I never went to physically meet him, things continued to be sexual. We called a few times on Discord and he asked me for nudes quite often. I can't say exactly how many pictures and videos were exchanged, but it was quite a few. In response, Minilad proceeded to post a typical, I take full responsibility, I'm very sorry, but I'm working on myself now. Nothing can fix what I've done. Talk to you later, Minilad. In an attempt to save his reputation, Minilad would then vanish from YouTube, only to come back 6 months later with yet another apology.
2020 has been an awful year for everybody, and I want to go into next year knowing that I have said my piece. I've told you guys exactly what's going on. I want to apologize for the things that I've done.
He then did exactly the same thing again, disappearing for another year just to come back.
Here's the thing. As you guys may have noticed, I've been gone for a while. My life decided to take a little bit of a twist. Last December, as you guys know, I put up my apology. I went silent. I went dark.
This unsurprisingly received lots of negative comments, since he barely addressed the real reasons as to why he took the break. Many thinks his audience will forget. No one will. Minilad's handling of the allegation caused his once thriving channel to turn into one that's starving for attention, now averaging less than 50,000 views. But unlike Minilad, who never faced any real consequences, Austin Jones would have to end up paying for his crimes. Austin gained fame for his rock cover videos, but on May 15, 2017, when allegations regarding Austin having inappropriate conversations with teenage girls surfaced, people would turn the other way. How about after each one, I'll make a video of me talking and telling you what I liked about it. Things took an even darker turn when a mysterious user leaked a video of Austin teaching underage girls how to twerk.
You stand with your legs apart, you bend your legs, and then you arch your back, and you arch it. You do it faster, so it's like that.
In response, in a video titled Setting the Record Straight, Austin addressed the allegations and the situation he was currently facing, trying to save his face.
So, I'd like to now officially apologize. I shouldn't have asked you to do that. It was foolish of me, and it was wrong. I shouldn't have done it.
Throughout the video, Austin seemed to play the victim card, from sharing about the death of his sister and his parents' divorce to
all of these life events, all of these deaths, this loss, left me with really deep depression.
Austin was eventually arrested on June 12, 2017 at an airport in Chicago after federal investigation uncovered several inappropriate chats with his underage fans. As a result, he got sentenced to 10 years in federal prison and is scheduled to be released in 2027. He's going to be the one twerking in prison. Ho ho, the irony.